going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops through your jobs. Appreciate y'all coming back. Also, share this out as well. During the dead time in the NFL offseason, a lot of people are creative. A lot of people also go with the mainstream stuff, trying to pick stuff out of the sand to try to make videos off of that. I don't do that here, really. I just go ahead and try to be creative during this time, and obviously the Roster Bubble Series is that. It is creativity. At least I deem it to be. Maybe you guys don't, but I deem it to be creative. And please share this out. With that being said, 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts for Big Blue in the Bronx and Twin Bill would work, and I would really appreciate it. I'm going to talk about NYY News TV and a lot of other shit tonight on Boys and Big Apple, so tune in. There's not going to be any guests, so the agenda is going to go from 7 different places. It's going to be fun. Anyway, with that being said, Roster Bubble Series video. I think this is episode number 15. This one's going to be on backup running back Antonio Williams. Give a background. Of course, if you haven't been here, I take a roster bubble player, someone who may or may not get cut. Then I go into their background, competition, how they can win, how they can lose, and then a prediction at the end. So, Antonio Williams is 24 years old, undrafted free agent from 2020 out of North Carolina. Signed with the Bills, was on the team's practice squad, and he really was not on the active roster. He was just a practice squad guy that was reverted onto the active roster when you could do your practice squad protections and stuff like that. I believe they're still keeping that for this year. And he was also with the team in 2021. Then went to the New York Giants, obviously on a one-year contract, the futures contract, really, for this season. And he was the first move, I think, made by Joe Shane. He was the first signing. So Antonio Williams gets that pinned on the back of his jersey. He also split carries, by the way, with Javonte Williams and Michael Carter at North Carolina. With that being said, his stats, he only played in one game in his career. So that's going to be very interesting. With that being said, in that one game, which was a blowout, I believe the Miami Dolphins were down freaking 40 points or something like that. Maybe I'm stretching it. But he had 12 carries for 63 yards, 4 first downs, and 2 touchdowns. Total of 5.3 yards per carry. And then in terms of the receiving end, he had 1 reception for 20 yards, 1 first down, obviously. No fumbles, nothing like that. In terms of his competition, Jashawn Corbin, Matt Breida, whatever the fuck you call it. Sandro Platzgummer, and Gary Brightwell. So Antonio Williams honestly comes in on an even line with Gary Brightwell, Sandro Platzgummer, and Jashawn Corbin. That's how it is. Breida, I believe, in my personal opinion, while he's shown some flashes of what he was so long ago, I feel like he's somewhat of a shell of himself because of the injuries. But why do I say Williams is on the same level as Corbin, Platzgummer, and Brightwell? Brightwell's played in one NFL game as a running back. He's got 1 reception, I believe. I believe that was in the Broncos game. I think he also lined up in the backfield against the Falcons. I believe that was the game. Anyway, with that being said, Jashawn Corbin's never played an NFL snap. He's an undrafted free agent. Sandro Platzgummer's been with the team for 2 seasons, but only got really 1 game of preseason action, and that's preseason. That's not even regular season. That's preseason. So, questions continue to mingle whether he's going to play in the NFL or not. So, Breida honestly has one of the better chances to make the roster. Now, if he doesn't make the roster because of injury, that's a big bummer for him because he's been bouncing from team to team over the last couple of years. But you know what? We'll skip that. We'll make it another video. I will do Matt Breida as a roster bubble candidate. Let's put it that way. But Corbin, Breida, Platzgummer, Brightwell, those guys are pretty much his competition. How can he win? Show some skill as a blocker on 3rd down and as a receiving threat against twos and threes, basic stuff as a backup running back. The Giants need a pass protector in the backfield on third down, whether it's Matt Breida, whether it's Antonio Williams, whether it's someone else. They need a guy. Saquon Barkley's not that guy. He's an elusive running back, has the talent to be, one of the better running backs in this league if he recovers from all the injuries, but he is not a third down back where he's pass protecting. We've seen so many times over the last few years he's given up sacks, and that's not a good thing on third down when you need this offense to succeed, when you need Daniel Jones to succeed. At least the way they're propping him up to be, and they're giving him all these pieces and whatnot, he needs to be, the best on the field that he could possibly be. And Saquon in the backfield on third down is not necessarily that, unless he's just running right up the gut or stretching it out for a big run. And honestly, not just on third down as a blocker, but just somebody to go right up the middle. I don't know if he's actually that type of guy, Williams, but he honestly should be and could be. Stretch your versatility that way, not just blocking and running, but also receiving as well. But up the middle and to the side as well, because if you need third down and one, are you really going to put Saquon Barkley in? I mean, yeah, he could, take it outside. Same thing with Breida, but I think Williams could be able to do that in this offense. If you need a basic third and one, if Saquon needs a rest and you're at the goal line, send Williams in for a touchdown. I mean, what does it hurt? It doesn't hurt anything, at least in my opinion. Hopefully he's got ball security, though, because that's going to be a big thing in terms of these running backs, because we saw a few years ago Rod Smith cough up a couple of footballs. He didn't make the roster. Paul Perkins coughed up a couple of footballs. He didn't make the roster. So ball security is going to be big, going to be very big with these running backs. So there's that. But, yeah, show some skill as a blocker on third, receiving threat, and basic stuff as a backup running back. How can he lose? Sinks in the depth chart, loses reps, drops passes with the twos and threes. It's gonna be an interesting battle for Williams, but he has to play his cards right. He can't sink in the depth chart. He has to show more than the younger cats in this room. Brightwell's either the same age or younger than him, but Williams has more experience. He's been honestly played more in the preseason than Brightwell has. Same thing that goes with Platzgummer. I mean, once again, questions continue to mingle whether he's going to make the roster or not and whether he can play in the NFL or not. But you really want Platzgummer over Williams? Pretty sure a lot of people would take Antonio Williams. And Jashawn Corbin. I mean, there's always, on NFL rosters, that young, undrafted free agent making it over Williams. Not over Williams, making it over guys that have been here for years. So there's that, but there's going to be a lot of youth on this team this year, probably one of the younger teams in the NFL. And if Corbin shows more than Williams, see ya. I mean, it's going to be up to the best in the room. But he can't sink in the depth chart, he can't lose reps, and he can't drop passes with the twos and threes. And he can't fumble. That's going to be one of the biggest things, as I mentioned already. That's pretty much how you can lose. But prediction, I have him making the 53-man roster. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, this guy's only played one game. I think the Bills connection is going to be there, and I think he's been a solid running back enough in his career in terms of the preseason. He's only had one preseason, which is weird. But obviously the COVID season, and then you had this semi back to normal season. I would say about 75% back to normal. There's still some COVID protocols in there, and that's going to probably stay. Actually, no, they got rid of all COVID protocols, a couple of months ago. But with that being said, I think he's going to make the roster. I think he's going to be with Saquon Barkley. And then obviously I'll reveal a couple of more of what these, in terms of Sandra Platzgummer and Brightwell. And actually I already revealed Brightwell. I said he's not making the roster. But in terms of Breida, Corbin, Platzgummer, those guys, I'll reveal in the next few videos if they're going to make the roster or not based on their own, roster bubble video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream pops your drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Tune in tonight for Boys McApple, 8:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us, and we'll be excited to have you. Next week, there won't be a show. It's going to be July 4th, and I will be in Staten Island. But anyway, peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool, and thank you so much for your ongoing support.